So we're very excited. We talked about this guy a while ago, a few weeks ago. His name is Malik Truth. I met Malik on, as I meet most people these days, oddly, online, on Instagram, I'm pretty sure. And he was so forthcoming and open and was like, look, I'm a writer, you're a writer, let's support each other. And I was like, okay, cool. Oftentimes, if I'm gonna be real, when somebody says that, I'm scared because there are a lot of really bad books out there.
Wow.
But when I tell somebody I'm gonna at least take a look, I do. Um, these days, I don't have a whole lot of time to push myself to read something that's not good. But at least give everything a chance. And so when Malik said this, I was like, okay, who knows? He seems he seemed brilliant. He seemed like a smart guy, but I didn't know what was coming. But I'm telling you what, it's one of the best books I've read, especially by and as far as I could tell, a newcomer to authoring a book. It was an extremely honest, brutally honest look at relationships from the point of view of a personal man's life, um, biblical uh, answering of questions, and therapeutic. So it was a wonderful mix.
I believe he's here right
All
now.
right, okay, all right,
So now
Malik.
to the Melanated Morning Show. Do you?
Malik Truth. Now that was one of the best intros. If you'd only heard it, Malik.
Right.
Is he there? I don't. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hi, how are you today, Malik? I can't hear you, love.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can now. There you go. There you go.
What's good? Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I just did a long introduction of you.
Oh
Um,
my goodness.
yeah, because
Thank you.
we do so many streaming platforms. It takes a DJ Kid Disco a minute to get everything set up. So he was like, tell us about how you met Malik. And so I've been just going on and on about how brilliant you are. And
Thank you, sister. Thank you, big sis Cinder.
so, one of the things we try to do this on our show, I think you've listened a couple of times. We're very comfortable and real. We don't like pretend like stuff don't happen. So I know we had this, I let,
What's up, DJ Kid Disco?
Good to see you again.
All
yeah.
right, bro.
So, so how long are you gonna be with us, man? How much time you got?
Well, I don't punch somebody's clock till 9 a.m. So
Now, reminding everyone, he is in Vegas, the fancy guy, and so the time difference is quite a bit. He is amazing because he got up for us. Thank you so
I
much.
sure did. I sure.
And you seem so perky. I really,
I felt like it was time to go to school.
oh my goodness,
I
yes,
said, I
right.
said, I said, Mom, give me 5 more minutes.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you getting up. Last time I went to LA, I literally never changed time zones. I was up
Wow.
this time every time because I just was like,
Right.
I don't want to get out of the habit of getting up in time for stuff. So,
Well, it's got that morning chill going on, so dressing warm.
right, right. What's the temperatures there? I don't even know.
The temperature right now is about 64 degrees this morning,
Well,
but it's
believe it.
gonna get to 90s though this afternoon.
Oh goodness. Well, okay. Well, we came up to you. We're in the 60s right now because we had this front come in.
Mm.
So but we not gonna go up anymore. So I I don't know if I
Of
envy you
course.
or not. I'm not a 90s person, but
Right.
anyway, before we take our break, we're gonna take our break in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Then
All right.
we're gonna come back and really delve into your book.
All right.
But so we like to talk some about what's happening in the world, and obviously
Yes. Yes.
the election
Uh-oh.
is what's happening, and that's foremost on a lot of people's mind besides
Oh
eating
yeah.
and drinking and living their lives. So
Hmm.
how are things in Vegas? I've never heard.
Oh, things are opening back up tremendously, y'all. Vegas. It's almost got a steady traffic again,
Mm.
Okay.
which is amazing. And some people are still walking around and gathering in enclosed spaces without masks, which is preposterous to me. But you know, we're all adults, and you know, people are going to take their lives in their own hands. You know.
Yeah, that's living in Indiana, which is where I am.
Hmm.
That's the tone that I've taken. I can't force people to care about their own lives or their families' lives. If if they are comfortable with that, then who am I to say don't be,
There you
So,
go.
so I just keep my distance and wear my stuff. And although
That's it.
if I'm going to be completely honest, every time I get out of the car to go to the gas station, I forget the dang on thing every time, and
Forget the mask. Yeah.
I gotta turn around and go back. It's like
You do that. You do that.
consistent.
You do that.
I have a block. I don't forget at the grocery store, but I
Right.
forget every single time I'm trying to go into the gas station. I'm not sure what that's about, but
Yeah.
I guess we're all
Depending on
human. We're all readjusting to this new way of living.
exactly. I mean,
Oh,
remember there was a time where we would see someone out in a mask, and we're like, "Why that person tripping?"
yeah.
We've all fallen into that. It's become a custom. It's a
well,
protection mechanism.
I lived in Asia, Southeast Asia for a minute, and
Hmm.
that was, especially in China, that was
Right.
the thing for quite some time. People were very conscious of if they have the sniffles or a cough, they wear masks. And then parts of China, of course, the pollution was so bad. In order to breathe, they wore masks. But they in Southeast Asia, they're always were conscious of that, of
Right.
any kind of viruses or whatever. So people would wear masks if they weren't feeling well. And
Hmm.
I think we're getting to that. I mean, even when and if they ever get something, uh, a vaccine or whatever they do, I don't think we're ever going to go back to just taking sickness for granted.
No, I mean I think it's moved to a new level. I mean, whereas to you get the sniffles, a sore throat, you're not thinking, oh my God, I got a common cold. You're thinking, COVID, I might have COVID.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's morphed. General sicknesses has morphed into something terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
It's it is.
I got a message from a friend of mine who is a nurse practitioner, I think. She's
Mhm.
in Chicago, and she said so many people are so confused because now the flu is starting to happen. And
Yes.
so they don't know. They don't know, is this the flu? Is this a cold? Is this COVID? They have no idea. And so the hospitals are being overrun with people
Fear.
because they don't know what they
Yeah.
have. And
People are
sometimes it's the flu, sometimes it's a cold, and sometimes it's COVID.
yes. Yes.
So
But I tell you what, I'm not getting no long thing stuck up my nose just because I'm in a panic.
So
mhm.
wait a minute, hold on. How we doing on time?
We got about 7 minutes till we take a break.
Let me indoctrinate you to the Melanated Morning Show, brother.
Yes, sir.
We get real deep, hot and heavy, especially about that. See, I'm being respectful, Seabreeze,
Thank you.
especially about that person
Uh-oh.
in the White
Uh-oh.
House. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Bro, hey, look, I am totally open to discussions, to melanated morning show discussions, grown folk discussions on that young man, on that little boy.
Keep
Woo!
ooh,
Woo!
the right one, Seabreeze. Ooh, you know he got my attention now, right?
Uh, well,
Somebody.
you know
Come
what?
on, somebody.
I am open. I do not judge. So
Ooh, Seabreeze knew it too. She knew it. She knew as soon as she heard it, like, oh Lord. You know what, brother? You just made my day. Okay, so we can have a real discussion.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. I just have so many. uh, ill-gotten things to say about him. And the thing about it is, I feel as though that he's considered to many the great white hope, in that he's doing nothing but the Benjamin Franklin effect, where he's simply giving in order to get. There is a special reciprocity that folks in business know, that if you give, you're gonna get a certain thing.
Mm.
So he knows that. He's a master at that. He took $2 million that his daddy gave him as a gift and turned it into an empire. And he did it based on that philosophy. And he comes trying to, I believe he's trying to run the country like he would a corporation, and that's not how you get down with a country.
This is true. This is true. I mean, and then the saddest thing to me is he ran his company terribly. And that's what I don't
Yes.
that's what I don't understand. The folks that are like, it's all about the economy, what he's going to do for the economy. He's a businessman, but he has been a terrible
He's
businessman.
Yeah.
I'm from Philadelphia. I've been to them Trump Jones.
Yeah, come on now.
He ran Atlantic City. He's one of the reasons why Atlantic City failed.
Trump Taj Mahal.
Atlantic City was somewhere to actually go.
Mm-hmm.
90s. He just.
I think more hoes spent time in his hotels than tourists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what's really amazing to me is, I was telling you last week, DJ Kid Disco, how we have, because we live in Indiana, which is a definite Republican state by far. So we have friends, we know people very well that are supporters of President Trump.
Right.
And we've been having conversations. William Lay more than me, that's my partner, because he has clients. He's a personal trainer, so he has clients and elderly clients.
Mm.
And so he is in constant conversation with them about this. They don't understand what we don't see in him. They literally don't get it, and we don't understand them. And so it's been some very interesting conversations that we've had. And this is something that Williams, one of his clients, said to him last year. What he said was to his client, he was like, I don't understand how you, who are a very strong Christian, think that his actions are okay. You're a follower of Jesus. Did Jesus act anything like this man? And what he said was, well, he said, we believe, and this is true as Christians, that Jesus forgives us. God forgives us for all of our sins. It doesn't matter what we do, as long as we say that he is the King of all, as long as we say that Jesus, whatever, then we can do whatever we have to do. We will be forgiven. And sometimes we just got to take advantage of that, because the fact that sometimes you got to do wrong to make right things happen. And so it's okay to all the horrible things that Trump's done. It's okay the corruption. It's okay the lies. It's okay the criminal behavior, because he's given us the judges that we want, which are anti-abortion. He's given us all these things. He's not going to tax us. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. So Jesus will forgive him because he's a Christian. So the things that he's doing may seem wrong, but in the long run seem right. And he was strong in that opinion. And I think that's the opinion of many, especially in the evangelical church.
Wow. That's deep. You want to take that one, DJ Kid Disco?
Well, we have 2 minutes, so give us your opinion in 2 minutes.
Okay, in the 2 minutes before we go on break, I'm getting ready to take a chance and play something. Malik.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you something. When you listen to a White House briefing or whatever, do you ever feel like you should have this music playing.
Whoa, Benny Hill. Benny Hill, come on, you. Woo, that's both funny and nostalgic at the same time. Wow.
Do you ever feel like you're watching a rerun of the
Benny Hill show? Yeah. And sometimes you want to take Donald Trump's toupee off and slap him across the head like Benny Hill used to do, the short bald-headed guy.
They are such.
I really love how you always can take it to a joke. Thank you, DJ Kid Disco. That is one of the things I love about you most is your ability to take it to a joke. If you can't laugh, then you just deserve it.
How could you not?
Oh, wow.
Exactly. And on that note, I think that's the perfect segue into the way we pay our bills. Please pay our bills, DJ Kid Disco.
Yes.
We will be right back with you.
So we're going to do this. Actually, first of all, I also would like to, real quick, because I need y'all to know this. Today at 1:00, Shelly Show. 30 interviews in 30 days. Her guest today is Ken Murph. So we get ready to go to break. Can you take us out, Cece?
Yes, please join us after the break, and we will talk extensively about Malik Truth's book, The Design Dating Purpose. Can't wait.
Yeah, that part, like what she just said.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
How you doing, Malik? You good?
I am doing wonderful, sis. I'm trying to get this little drink on break.
Okay, do your thing. Do what you got to do. That's what this break is.
Yeah.
All of Facebook and all the live streams, you stick with us. I'm going to chew some gum just to get my jaws opened up. But this break is for us, so take it. Do what you got to do.
I done made some turmeric tea.
Lovely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm drinking my celery and cranberry mixture.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm ignorant. I'm drinking Kool-Aid.
Okay, there it is.
I'm ignorant.
The red kind?
No, brother, green. I'm drinking green
Oh,
Kool-Aid.
the green kind. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And smoking the Newport. This is what I do on my break.
Oh
my
man.
God. Breakfast of Champions.
Breakfast.
Breakfast of Champions. You like Rocky, man. You like Rocky.
Man,
I love Rocky. I watch Rocky all day. You know that, CC.
Bro, only thing you're missing is a bag of Bon-Ton barbecue potato chips.
Oh, wow.
Did I
hey, I'm from Philly, brother. This is what we do. Philadelphia. We eat cheesesteaks and some pretzels for breakfast.
For real. Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, DJ Kid Disco, because only you could make that work.
Because I'm stupid. I'm so stupid.
But I'm not gonna lie, I love me some Kool-Aid growing up. I do.
With a whole lot of sugar in it.
Yep, a whole lot of sugar.
And don't be claiming you black talking about you won't drink no cool. Stop playing.
Come on now.
That's all we didn't have no pop. Pop did not happen in our house. We didn't have no pop money.
I know that's right. Talk about you drinking Tag. Black folks don't drink Tag.
What was they like five, like no, back when I was coming up, it was like 2 cents a pack. 5 pounds of sugar for $1.
Exactly. That's juice for at least a week or two.
And then you know what it tastes real good with? That buttered bread that you put at the bottom of the oven.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the bomb right there.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, he just took me back with that one.
Uh-uh.
Wow. He took me back to Speed Racer with that one.
Speed Racer. Uh-huh.
Hey DJ,
Wow.
how long we got? How many minutes? DJ Kid Disco.
We got about 2 more minutes.
Oh shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to take those two.
All right.
I got you.
Yeah, bro. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, man.
Oh, well, you know what it's like. You know what the projects is like.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm from the 9th floor.
He said the 9th floor.
Yeah.
I think we lived on like the 10th floor, Chadwick Avenue, right off of Avon Avenue in Newark, New Jersey.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know the Trojects.
So this discussion that we get ready to have, I like that. I knew we would get along.
Oh yeah, man. I am. When you grow up in Newark, man, you far from pretentious.
That's true. That's true. All right, so we're gonna come back right about now, and I'll take the lead on it.
Okay.
Oh no! I didn't know you were back. Okay, you can have the lead. I didn't know you were back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me unhook us. All right, Cece, when we come back, you can take the lead.
Sure.
It's down with the Get Down, man. Grown Folks Radio all day.
Hi, everybody. This is Cinda Williams, and I am the co-host of the Melanated Morning Show and the host of the PPC Radio Show. And you are listening to Folks Radio.
All right. We are back, and
make that your cue, Cece.
It is my cue. I can hear you. Can you not hear me?
Wait a minute.
I messed up. I'm so messing up. Hold on. Folks. Us listening folks. Here we go.
All right, are we back? All right. Okay, thank you. Y'all trying to cut me out of stuff. Anyway, thank you for coming back. First off, I'd like to say hi to Sadi Rose. Thank you for listening, sister.
Sadi.
Yeah. And Shelly Shell has joined us. Thank you.
The
CEO.
Yes, our boss, Shelly Shell has joined us. Hey, girl. And Earl and Keisha Rose, thank you so much for joining us. Now, I would like to introduce once again my new friend. I just love talking to this guy. His name is Malik Truth. He wrote an amazing book, The Design Dating Purpose. And we're going to dive into that right now. Malik, first, before we get too deep into the book, tell us about you.
Me, okay. Hey, what's going on? My name is Malik Truth, and I hail from Newark, New Jersey, the Brick City. And I'm a graduate of UNLV right here in Las Vegas with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. But during that course of time, you got to take these electives here and there. And one of those electives I had taken at the time was English 101, 102, 227. I remember them vividly because I had so much to write. I actually fell in love with writing at that time, and it's just been a whirlwind, ever since. From writing small articles, for the school newspaper to doing small publications, in local magazines.
Mm-hmm. So I also know this about you, that you are a spiritual leader. I don't know what to call you exactly. You're a spiritual leader, and you're in a business of helping people through therapeutic means. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I am a licensed minister here in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where a pastor by the name of he's a bishop now, Robert Arnold. He certified me at the time. It was back in 2008. And I've been in mental and behavioral health as a qualified mental health assistant for about 10 years. And over the course of time, I had a lot of exposure to some really brilliant therapists, both male and female. And I work for one of the leading geriatric psychiatrists here in Las Vegas, with whom I helped actually build a mental health wing back in 2012. So, and it's still thriving today. It's proud to know that was a project that I helped birth. And so that's where the therapeutic portions of the book really came in.
Well, you know what? One of my favorite things about the book, to be honest with you, was how transparent you were when it came to who you are. Because honestly, I've read lots of books by therapists. I've read lots of spiritual texts, and all of those things are very helpful. But when you combine those things with someone's personal story, it takes us to another level. And you're so honest, brutally honest. You use colorful language, which some people are a little offended by, but people talk the way they talk when they talk, right? So I really appreciated that about your book, because I felt like I was on your journey with you. So what made you write the book this way?
Well, I read a lot of other books of names I won't mention because of the platform that we're on. But several of those books, they talk about games. And they talk about experiences on the outside of the person rather than the inside of the person. And the author never really dives into their experiences with regards to the subject that they're purporting. And for me, I thought it was a disservice, because I believe in the mental health field, there's a thing called self-disclosure, and you use that self-disclosure in appropriate times to be able to help your client to understand that you know what they're going. It's an empathy strategy, So that's what I felt like my book needed. And again, I was led by the Spirit to really do so. And I thought and knew and felt that by giving of myself would help folks to identify.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did. I definitely did. And I use that same strategy all across my platform. I mean, I believe if you're honest with people about who you are, they can actually hear you, because they understand that you understand what they're going through.
Absolutely.
So on that note, what was the thing that happened to you that threw you into this to write this book? You don't have to get too deep, but
I'm not.
Of course, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, tell us. I mean, you don't have to mention names or whatever, but you had an experience. You wrote a book, and what?
Wait a minute. See,
what?
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
I heard something about language. Is there cussing?
No, it's colorful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's colorful.
Came out of me, brother. I thought you was cussing. I was like,
oh man, we talking about fuchsia, orange, indigo. Yeah, it's colorful.
It's descriptive, and it's common, man.
It's a luminous language.
I think you should read the book.
Yeah, go ahead and get the book, DJ. Get this book.
So what? So the main theme, talk to us about the theme, because we don't have too much time, and I want you to get into this book.
Okay. What the main theme of the book is about? It's about accountability and self-discovery. It's about owning up to where you may have went wrong in the course of the discourse of that relationship. What motivated me was a very bad experience. I actually left Las Vegas to go to Florida to be with an old friend of mine whom we had been dating off and on since we were teenagers. But there was a 15-year break in the last time that we actually had seen each other. And that was one of both of our fatal errors, was failing to understand the person who was today, at that moment in time. And when everything went awry, some really tumultuous things happened to me, which I'll actually be discussing in the follow-up of the Dating Purpose book in 2021. And they motivate that traumatic experience motivated me to really dig in deep with myself, and then actually use the training in mental health that I actually had and the coping skills that I used to teach others. I began to use them myself.
Isn't it crazy? I really believe that this is true, that if you start talking to too many people about what they need to do, typically it's because it's something you need to do. I mean, that has been my experience. And so now I'm grown enough that when I start hearing myself talking about what somebody need to do, then I say, okay, hold up. What you doing wrong? What you doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the
That was the thing.
what are some of the examples of what a person needs to do before they dive into a relationship?
Okay, well, I truly believe, because of what I went through, the Bible says something to the effect of there hath no temptation taken you that such is common to man. And I believe that to be that what someone else is going through, you're soon to go through. What someone else has already gone through, you're going to go through or have already gone through yourself. So one time or another, we all share commonalities. And I believe one of the most common factors that we as human beings share is a thing called trauma. That trauma could have happened at any point in our lives. Either we were a toddler, a child, a teenager, adolescent, adult, whatever, and however the trauma introduced itself into our life, we met it and it became, a living thing in our lives. This living thing in our lives began to change how we interact, not only with, ourselves, but with other people. And as it relates to the dating experience, if we don't truly understand who we are, we're going to always take old ingredients, which are predominantly garbage, into new relationships. And the goal of the Design Dating Purpose is to help one dig into what are some of the things that have been hurting you, so you can start healing those things. Each and every one of us, I believe, Cinda and Kid Disco, DJ Kid Disco, have a child in us that is curled up in a corner somewhere, unhealed from something. And until we identify that, then we can actually begin to heal it. Once we heal it, watch how your dating experiences change. Because when you know who you are and whose you are, you're not going to invite energies into your life that's going to disrupt that.
You have no idea how appropriate and right on time that comment is. I've been dealing with some stuff in my not in my own personal relationship so much as people I've been witnessing. And again, when I'm witnessing stuff and I'm attracting that to me, I'm like, okay, how does this apply to me? Because I don't believe you experience anything unless somehow it's going to apply to you. And that is what it's come down to. You before you get in a relationship too deep, you gotta fix yourself. And I don't know if, tell me if you agree with this or not, but I think even if you feel like you're a healthy person, before you dive into a relationship, it makes sense to talk to someone professionally just to make sure that you have a wholeness about you, and your partner should do the same. And then you should do it together.
Yes.
Before you really, because that stuff creeps in and you don't understand. You think, okay, everything was perfect. What happened? Life happened, but you don't know that, right? So what do you think about that?
Because your pain masks that, yeah.
That's why so many times when you're with somebody in the beginning, you're like, it was so perfect. What happened?
Now I have a question.
You
Well,
said it perfect. You said it perfectly. Go ahead, bro.
we have a question from Shelly.
Mm-hmm.
Shelly Shell says, "How do we identify? How do we identify?"
The problem.
How do you identify the problem? If you cannot identify the problem on your own, then you need guidance to delve into parts of your life that has been doused by the noise. What is that noise? Denial. Denying the fact that you have no problem, that everything is okay with me, yet you can't seem to maintain a relationship. And when you can't maintain that relationship, your go-to mechanism is to always blame the other party, because it is easier to villainize them than to villainize yourself, because everything's okay with you. It is hard to come out of what you've been identifying with all these years, because when you come out of identifying with negative or the noise in your life, and then there's a calm in your life, it becomes foreign. You don't begin to, you begin to not see, and you begin to not recognize yourself. And then that's where the journey actually starts. But a lot of people don't know how to get there. So if you don't get there on your own, go to a trusted therapist. For some reason in our community, we have a stigma on therapy. I ain't crazy. It's not a factor of being crazy. It's a factor of exploring. That's what we do to our friends. Girl, tell me what you think about this. You're about to go into exploring.
Had a couple.
She or he, she or he's not a therapist.
We've actually done a couple shows on that very topic. What we doing on time, C?
We got 5 minutes.
Okay, real quick, I want to acknowledge, I want to say good morning to somebody. Miss Bella, we will see you tonight with Melanated After Dark. She tuned in, she checked in. We will see you tonight with Nikki Feltz and your part-time co-host, Seabreeze.
Shelly Shaw.
Who would that? No, your part-time.
Oh, E-Money?
Yeah.
Money? Okay. All right.
By the way, I talked to Y Money and I talked to you, so we can go ahead and say it publicly. Cinda has agreed to do what, Cinda?
I'm going to read the audible version of her book, and I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
I can't wait.
It's going to be fun.
So, is this going to be the clean version or the real version?
There is no such thing with a book. You read what's there. You don't like make up fake words. When you reading it, you read what's there. And so it will be colorful, as our dear Malik Truth says.
Illuminous.
It was colorful when you read it before. Boy.
Okay, so I have a question, Malik. Before we go to break in the next 3 minutes, are you coming back, or you got to get out of here?
Oh no, I'm coming back. I don't got to be out of here till 8:45.
Okay, cool. So we can continue on with our conversation, because I mean, we are barely touching the surface of what is in your book, and I think it's a universal question. Everything that's in there is universal. Everybody has experienced these things one way or another. So I'm glad you're going to stick with us for a while longer. DJ, we got 3 minutes, so can I talk to him a little bit more about his book before we go? All right. Okay. So, so this whole thing of, especially people of color, when it comes to therapy, why do you think that it's such we are so afraid of that journey?
You know what? I cannot definitively pinpoint a causation. There are several correlations to that, such as upbringing, whether it's spiritual, or domestic, whatever the case may be. I know that I was, brought up, to think that, we handle things ourselves, and because of that, mental health has been running rapidly in our community. because we don't know how to recognize it. We just thought, oh, that's your auntie. She's just crazy like that. But auntie got probably some real diagnoses going on.
You know, the thing about it, the thing that amazes me is the history that people of color have in America is so painful. We have suffered so much and continue to fight. Why in the world would you think, ain't nothing ever happened to me? When you can look at your history, your own personal history, and tell traumatic experiences that you're telling your buddies, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me. Y'all have long talks about it. Why do you think that you could not benefit from a conversation with somebody objective that can help you work through those things?
Because it ain't their business. That's been the ongoing thing. That's common right there. It ain't their business.
But you know what? It's your business. Your
That's
business.
right.
It is your business. So if you don't want to continue repeating patterns, if you don't want to still keep with the same dude that whip your tail, if you don't want to be with the same woman that cheats on you, maybe you got to figure out what's the cause of your choices. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And I know for me, that is what I've had to do. And we will come back to this, but right now we are going to take a break. DJ Kadisco, can you please take us out?
Well, of course, that's what I do best.
Okay.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Oh my goodness.
And safety of our guests and team members, we're here for you. That means frequently deep cleaning our stores and wiping down carts and baskets after each use, reserving dedicated shopping hours for our most vulnerable guests, providing masks and gloves to our team members, and offering contactless shopping options through the Target app, like Drive Up and same-day delivery. We are here for you now more than ever, and your health and safety.
So I know Facebook can hear. Hi, Earl. Good morning, love. Michelle, thank you for joining us today. And I hope you got some kind of answer, Shelly Shell. I can't wait to talk to you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, everyone. So we have, how much more time, DJ Kadisco, before we gotta go to music?
About 3 more minutes. Before we go to music? Oh, yeah. Wow. We got a good another at least 45 minutes.
Okay, so I say maybe like 15 more minutes on your book, and then the last half hour we can talk about other things, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. That's
and you're welcome to stick it out if you want to, or you can say goodbye after this next break, after we sum up what we're talking about there, because
if we gonna get into Donald Trump, I stick around.
Okay. All right, cool. So you stay.
No.
When you need to go, just say so, and you can go on and sign out. No problem. We are easy like that here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we gotta bring him back.
Oh yeah, because we didn't even touch the surface of his book. There's too much in there, and I know hopefully he will join you on some of your other shows, which are geared towards relationship conversations. And then I'm definitely going to have you back, Malik, for my show, PPC radio show. You definitely, that will be, hopefully, God willing, before the end of the year.
Yes. I love the way you put it. I love the way you put it. Half and half ain't two. I like that.
Yeah, because it's not. I used to be looking for somebody to complete me. There's no such thing. There is no such thing as somebody completing you.
That's that motion picture dialogue fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
You can.
All right, we got another 60 seconds, y'all.
Okay, cool. It totally is, and we'll talk about that. That's how we'll bring it in. Talking about that.
And CC, I want you to bring us back. I know I usually say melanated, but you bring us back.
Okay, sure.
All right.
No problem.
I'm just gonna play out the rest of the commercials in the Zoom so y'all can, so you can know, have your own cue point. Hey Facebook, thanks for tuning in. My bad.
Okay, good, Shelly. I'm glad you got something.
The purpose. I have a course for you. Have you been struggling as an entrepreneur trying to figure out how to get people to engage, how to get people to buy, how to get people just to see you on social media? I have just the course for you. Please go to ShellyShowWilliams.com to find out more.
All right, we are back in the Melanated Morning Show. Thank you for coming back and joining us. And thank you for all of those that have stayed with us all throughout. I did my podcast last week, and I was so blessed to have Malik as my guest. And it was called Half and Half Ain't Two. And what I meant by that was this whole fantastical concept of we all need somebody to complete us is a false narrative. Can you talk about that, Malik?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it's a false narrative because when it's just like you said, in the podcast, if you have two hurt people and these two individuals have not healed yet, we can't be expected to be rehabilitation centers for one another. Okay, we're there to add to that individual, not complete that individual.
Amen.
Okay, now if you are brave enough to dive into a relationship knowing that someone is broken and you want to play doctor, then by all means go for it. There's some things that you got to know about that. And if a person isn't healed, there's going to be several personality types that might show up. A lot of times when people are broken, they actually display a lot of faulty personalities. A lot of these personalities come up because the individual, has been hurt and something has to protect them. So you get a lot of people that come off hard, unapproachable, oversexed, undersexed, whatever the situation may be. So if a person is hurt, they need to find the source and the root of that hurt, begin to fix it so that they can safely go into a relationship with an individual, knowing that they are at least working on their healing process.
So what's your suggestion if a person has already committed to someone? They have already done this, and this is new information of what maybe should have done, and realizes, okay, I cannot fix this person. They have to fix themselves. What would your suggestion be for that person?
Let love guide you. Let your love guide you. If you're already into that and you get this book and new information comes, because I have had married people read my book and they have said to me, oh my God, Malik, there's a lot of things in this book that me and my husband can still do. And that is still getting to know each other. What happens what is the phenomenon when say, oh, my husband has changed, or my wife is changed. They acting different. Well, no, they aren't. That's the individual that you failed to meet during the process that you did not take seriously or did not know how to take.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little personal quickie. When I was in one of my marriages, I started getting therapy because there were certain things in my life that I needed to deal with. And I recognized the fact that I was broken. And I recognized the fact that I was the pattern that was wrecking my relationships. So I started going to therapy. And what happened was I was ready to change and I was excelling, but my partner did not like the new me. My partner did not like who I had become. The fact that before I used to be a yes woman, everything you want, anything you want, no matter how I feel, how it makes me feel, whatever, I changed. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to say no to this because it's not something that's in line with who I am. And I started changing in ways. I started wanting to do things on my own, go places on my own, where this person had been with me every step, every moment of my life. And when I made these changes, he was not ready for these changes, did not want these changes, and he left my butt. He left me because I changed. So that is the only thing that I would say, that is, if you are with a person, before you both get help in understanding yourselves, you have to understand that that dynamic will affect the relationship. And sometimes it may mean it may not work out because they like you just as broken as you are. They feed off that, because in this relationship, I was totally codependent. It was a codependent relationship. And because I was starting to find my independence and love myself and accept myself, I wasn't acceptable anymore. So that's another thing that I think that people deal with.
It's a phenomenon of identification. When we begin to change anything of change, it's not readily acceptable. You know, change is a painful process, just like a butterfly. We don't think that throughout a caterpillar's metamorphosis in that cocoon, there's some pain going on. You know, there hasn't been any scientific studies that tells us that, you know, they wrap themselves into some type of adhesive that protects them from pain. You know, as humans, our adhesive is maladaptive behaviors. You know, it protects us from the pain. So when someone is already in a relationship and they get a hold of my book and they begin to start change, when you let love guide you, your love as the individual that's changing is going to increase your communication like you did. You begin to verbalize what is not acceptable to you anymore.
Did he just go to Mother Earth?
I sure did.
Damn. Okay.
I sure did. And the thing about that is that within the universe, everything is an exchange of energy. So we're just putting stuff out there all the time and it's coming back multiple.
Wow.
So we have to really understand that when you're in a relationship, you're going to see sides of an individual that you failed to see because you were not dating properly. And dating properly is called dating with intention. You have to discover who you are to begin to discover who that person of interest is.
So how do you do that?
How do you do that? It's what I call in the book. You have to do it with objective inquiries.
Okay.
How many times do we fail to ask the right questions because we're afraid we might offend that individual? This is not about being offended or fear of offending someone. This is called discovering to protect you. Discovering so that they can feel protected.
So these are discussions that need to be had in my Dr. Webb voice.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
You saying it. You got to learn to talk to one another. Everybody talking about something. I need her to be more communicating. I need him to be more communicating. But what are you communicating about? What is the substance that you're communicating about? You know, when you first lay your eyes on somebody, it's both women and men because we're both visual. You're not thinking, wow, that person is fine. I wonder how they take care of their finances. Or that person is fine. I wonder how responsible they are in their life. Or they so fine, I wonder if they have any hurts and pains and trauma going on in their life. We're thinking with primal instinct. He or she is so fine, damn, I sure like to and ha.
That's usually where I was at. I was wondering we was going to get to the. That's
You already knew I was going to get there. You know what I'm saying? You know, I sure like to get with it. I sure like to get with her. I sure like to get with him. You know?
I'm considering which position fits best, but
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, 69 all the time. I'm saying?
I could care less about her brain capacity at that time. That doesn't come to play.
But only if it's agreed upon.
Consensual.
But no, really though, I think we fail to have those serious discussions. And because we have fail to have those serious discussions, we don't give either or the opportunity to delve into things that has changed the course of their life.
The problem is, and I've had this experience in the past, when you start getting into those type of discussions, somebody's going to get a feeling. Why are you asking me that? Well, what you trying to say? What you trying to ask me?
Right. But you know, I got a trick for that. That's in the book. It helps you out a lot. And just to give you just a little bit of it, it's called being relative. In quid pro quo, you give a little, they're gonna give a little, because now they feel comfortable. Because if you talk about something that another person is not comfortable about talking about, once you've talked about it, guess what that phenomenon is? They're gonna identify with that. And then they're going to have that discussion as well.
Quid pro.
Because now they don't think you're going to judge them.
Quid pro quo. You give a little, you get a little. You hear that, Donald? That's what quid pro quo means.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He don't understand that yet. He has yet to mature. You know, he didn't graduate.
He doesn't understand 5th grade civics. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he don't even understand conjunction function.
And honestly, I think that all of this conversation, as appropriate it is as for our personal relationships, is something that we need to consider with all relationships.
Yes.
Our family functions, our community functions, our politics, every relationship, literally, you could take away the word dating. Okay, the life purpose, okay,
yes.
Or the design life purpose. It
Yes.
is everything that you talk about in this book that's appropriate for a couple is appropriate for a mother and daughter, children and their parents, our pastor and the members in the church.
Yes.
It applies to every relationship. That's why I was so moved by it, because this is the breakdown that we're having right now, I believe, in our world, is this lack of empathy, lack of communication, lack of really truly getting out of your own head and looking at someone else's life and what they're going through, and understanding them and empathizing with them. The reason why we are divided into 2 countries right now is because of the lack of that.
Communication.
Lack of communication.
Communication, empathy. I agree with that, because I had a pastor friend of mine commit suicide.
Oh my gosh.
And no one commits suicide unless they're in a deep bed of depression, hopelessness. Okay, that's when they feel as though they're going to end it all. No one wakes up without that type of mental illness going on. Just say, I think I'm gonna kill myself today. I don't know why, but you know, they understand why there's a feeling of hopelessness. Go ahead, bro. Look like you want to say.
The pastor?
Yes, sir. Yep. He was actually a bishop. And it's unfortunate that his friends in the church community, and that's why, Cinda, I don't know if I sent that published article to you. It's called The Invisible Elephant. I got great ratings on that mental health article. Because it dealt with the spiritual community and how they really shun, therapy and actual diagnosis. We know that there were diagnoses because Jesus spoke to the crazy man and the demons came out. You know, so that person had a known diagnosis. Probably wasn't called what we call it today, but that individual had some demons in him. So
which I believe is the same thing.
Yes, it's the same thing. Diagnosis and demon. Yeah. And his church friends, his church family, no one understood why he was isolating himself. No one understood why he didn't show up to his shop as much. No one understood these signs. Everybody was just like, praise the Lord, brother this, praise the Lord, brother that. But they did not know what was going on in his life because they really failed to communicate, because they failed to be able to identify what was really going on in him. And again, that's why my book talks so deeply about therapy and goes into a lot of therapeutic options. A subject and topic that you very rarely see, or will never see in dating topic books.
And the thing about it is, we are all human. It really, especially when it coming from a religious background, coming from a family of pastors, they are human. They are human.
They're human.
And so often they are alone. They are surrounded by people and have no one to talk to, because people put them so high on a pedestal that they don't have someone that's willing to say, hey, brother, what's going on with you? Not, hey, what can you do for me? But what can I do for you? Are you going through anything? Do you need to talk about anything? They don't have peers. And because their lack of peers or even mentors themselves, they have no one to talk to, so they feel so alone. And the way the world is right now, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, and the lack of faith and the helplessness and the hopelessness of people, can you imagine how dark that place is for a person of leadership that's supposed to be leading people through this and giving them hope, but no one is giving them hope?
Yes, that's the irony. That's the irony, that they're in a place of darkness, all the while expected to lead someone to the light.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why it's so important. We go back to this. Half and half ain't two. And that's half and half with your pastor. That's half and half with everybody.
Yes, I like that. I like that approach.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I love that perspective.
A pastor can't make you whole.
Sure
you can't make him whole, but you guys can be two whole people together and help each other get to that light.
Absolutely. 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 And even if you're not both completely whole, what I do say is that you've identified the issue and you're working on your healing process. When you're working on your healing process, at least you can communicate that to an individual now. And then now they have a choice whether or not they want to work with you through that. You know, and you knowing that they're not expected to or expected to have any other role except for that of an individual that's going to acquaint themselves with me. And that we're going to go down a path of acquaintance. That's it. I think far too many times people say, I want a man, I want a woman, I want somebody to be my wife, I want somebody to be my girlfriend. How about having somebody that you could just say good morning to and just sing a good morning song to of life? Someone that you could just pray with, someone you can read with, cook with, you know, form and forge a bond, you know, those type of things.
Now, well, wait a minute. I gotta play Negro's devil advocate.
We got 3 minutes.
Okay. You can't be singing good morning songs to everybody, because sometimes, you know, some ladies like, good morning, and then you got someone that's like, good morning.
Oh Lord, yeah.
You know, good morning, Jude. Hey, friend. Whoa.
Yeah, I've had some women sound like that in the morning. Good morning, Malik. Yeah. It's actually kind of sexy, though.
Yeah, like, oh, after what we last night, you sound like this? No.
Right. But it's you know, I don't know. I just, you know, I don't know, Cinda and you guys. I just believe that we are taught so many wrong devices when it comes to dating, and we apply those incorrect devices. Like I speak in my book, I talk to you about how my uncles and even my dad modeled this, eroded dating process right in front of us. I mean, DJ Kid Disco, have you had your uncle sit down with you and tell you, what you should do with a woman?
No, they was drunks. Ain't nobody listening to them.
yeah. Well, mine was drunks and mescaline heads.
Right. Well, okay, guys. Before we go to commercial, can you please tell everyone that's listening how to find your book?
Yes, they can actually find my book at Amazon.com or Kindle, or you can go to my site, thedesignbook.wixsite.com/dating purpose, and that's my site. And you can get the book there. You can visit me on Facebook at the Design Dating Purpose Discussion Group.
Well, we'll put all this on our website. So guys, if you weren't able to get that information down, you can go to Grown Folks Radio and we'll be able to find that information, because I think this is a book that everyone should read. Now, Malik, if you'll stay with us for the last amount of time we have, we can talk about a few other things.
Yeah, I got about 20 minutes.
All right, that's you leave when you need to leave. DJ Kid Disco, you want to take us to commercial?
Yep.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
For the health and safety of our guests and team members, we're here for you. That means frequently deep cleaning our stores and wiping down carts and baskets.
Yeah, DJ Kid Disco, you're a funny dude, man.
He's our levity. He is definitely our levity. We need him, because I can get serious. I can get so serious. We need levity, that's for sure. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
I do it every time to her.
And you think I'm playing though? I had this fine sister, chocolate sister. Boy, I tell you, woke up with her in the morning and her voice changed. Good morning, Malik. I was like, what?
Like, damn, what did I do? Like,
be like, are you a man or something?
Was I not listening to her at the bar? What happened?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's just my morning voice.
See, that's what happened when you wait until the lights come on to take somebody home.
Oh no, she was still fine in the morning, but the voice wasn't fine. The voice needed makeup.
Oh well, that's that. Just don't say that. Just sign language. You ain't gotta say nothing.
Exactly. Sign language me good morning, baby. Write me a note.
Unless you happen to get with a girl who happens to be deaf, and this is a true story, and she's doing sign cards and sign language, but she can't spell. So when she's using the flashcards, she can't spell.
Whoa, that's crazy. That'll be a funny bit though, right there.
Well, I mean, instead of fudge you. Wait a minute. Oh, you need hooked on fudge. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hey, what you talking about? Some chocolate? You talking about that brownie that we bought earlier on today?
Wait a minute.
I don't do the food stuff, girl.
Yes, I am completely and totally stupid, ignorant, and yes. And CC loves it.
Old man. You need that base, man. So sometimes you talk about heavy topics. You need to.
There's no telling what I'm going to say.
Yeah, you need to be a little jocular with things, man.
There's no telling what I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's all right. Gotta be jocular. Gotta have fun.
Like the very important question I'm getting ready to ask you when we come back from break. Trust me, this is a very important.
Oh
yeah, this is super, super important. I really need to know this. America needs to know the answer to this question. Don't worry, I'll explain to you when we get. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
This is a super, super important question.
I'm with it.
Half of America needs to know.
I am with it. If it's that super important, I think all of America need to know.
No, on this one, only half of America needs
Only
to know.
half? Okay. All right.
Yeah, just trust me on this one.
All right. The colorful half.
Yeah, that would, yeah. All right, I'm great. Unhook us and let everybody.
You already know what's going on with the other half.
Yeah.
You see that.
Wonderful. So say that number one more time, Romaine.
Yes, my office number is 215-914-5797.
Hey everybody, it's Shelly Show Williams, Philly's Oprah, executive producer of Urban Expressions, single on Saturday night, but I am a business, social media, and media coach. And if you're looking to show up on social media with a purpose, I have a course for you. Have you been struggling as an entrepreneur trying to figure out how to get people to engage, how to get people to buy, how to get people just to see you on social media? I have just the course for you. Please go to ShellyShowWilliams.com to find out more.
Oh.
This is me, Shelly.
Whoops. I hit the wrong drop. I'm sorry.
Hi, everybody. This is Cinda Williams, and I am the co-host of the Melanated Morning Show and the host of the PPC Radio Show. And you are listening to Grown Folks Radio. Hey, this is Cinda Williams. When I'm home, in the car, or out and about, I listen to B-Force Radio.
The Melanated Morning Show with DJ Kid Disco and co-host Cinda Williams.
Okay, we're back. Cece, Malik.
Yeah.
Welcome back, y'all. All right, Malik, I gotta ask you. You out there in Vegas, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Don't judge me. This question I'm going to ask you, all right? But I really need to know this.
Uh-oh.
Yo,
I
bro.
feel a whoop coming on.
They got any good weed out there, man? Because I'm thinking about...
Oh, yeah. Indica and sativa, bro.
All right. I told you this was super important. I need to make sure that, because the wife wants to come out there and
it's legal too, man. You can walk up and down the strip smoking a doobie.
See, that's what I wanted to talk. See, I knew I liked this, brother. That's what I wanted to talk about. So you mean to tell me I can go in the store and get like a Reuben, a Pepsi, and a bag of weed?
You sure can, bro. Yep. You sure can.
The colors.
I think we know where DJ Kid Disco is going for his next.
Oh yeah, come on out, bro. I got you.
Uh-huh.
Come on out, bro.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I got you. They have dispensaries like they have drugstores, man. You can just go in there and they got a menu for you and everything.
I heard they got weed in the vending machine, like I'm buying a bag of chips or something.
Well, we haven't gotten that fancy yet, but
I don't think I trust that. That's okay.
No, they're all in controlled environments, in dispensaries, and people who grow it themselves get an opportunity once a month to sell this stuff, like at a farmer's market or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but you don't really. I don't trust their weed because I know that their growth and their production is not under controlled environments. You know what I'm saying? So they could be giving you contaminated, bud, and you don't even know about it until you get it in your system.
Oh, I like this, brother. He's invited back anytime. Wait a minute.
My thing, I like the indica strand because it has a more mellow effect and it gives you like a body high rather than a buzz head high like the sativa.
Yeah, we the same because I don't like anything that's gonna make me think any more than they already do.
Come on, somebody.
You know what I'm saying? My mind, I am constantly got my own natural high in my head. I don't need no help.
I don't need no help with my brain racing. You know what I'm saying? So it's and then they have the hybrids. So there's a mixture of sativa and indica in it, and it's like a 60-40 split. So but I don't like that because you'll feel high and then you come down.
It's terrible.
I don't like that.
It's terrible.
You ever been so high that you get high and you actually smoke yourself sober?
Yeah, I've been down that road way in my 20s. Yeah, in my 20s. Not no more. Now I smoke for therapeutic purposes only.
I like that. Therapeutic. Can I tell that to the police?
You can. The police might want to hit if they stop you.
Probably so. They probably high when they pull me over.
Now there are some limits. There are some barriers. You can't be smoking bud like you can't have liquor in your car while you're driving. You can't be off the strip. Like you can't be walking down a residential neighborhood, puffing. You know what I'm saying? It's confined just like alcohol to the strip. And then otherwise, once you go to the dispensary, you drive right home and, in the curtilage or privacy of your home, you can smoke out.
Everything's got to be in moderation. You just got to have some common freaking sense.
Right. I mean, that makes it's like you said,
gotta have common sense.
That's like alcohol. You can't be walking down the street and you just, come on, dude.
Thank you.
Back. Come on, guys.
You know how I did it. You know how we did it in the tri-state. Brown paper bag. We already know what that means. You do not have a Snapple in that bag.
Y'all who are not from the 9th floor, let me break that down to you.
10th floor of the projects.
You have a controlled substance in the
exactly.
But the crazy part about it is, you can have your stuff in the bag all you want to. Everybody knew what the bag meant.
Everybody knew what the brown paper bag was.
You knew what that meant.
You either got Thunderbird or Mad Dog 2020 or Miller High Life in that bag.
Colt 45.
Colt 45, yes. But that was a clean, classy malt liquor because Billy D. Williams did the commercial.
I remember that Colt 45.
Colt 45
liquor.
And then they had the fine girls come in, knocking at the door, and he holding up the bottle. Colt 45 does it all.
Live.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys what. You know what? This is the first week I think that we've been doing this show that we did not talk about politics for the majority of the time, and I am appreciative of that because I know I'm tired of it. So I really appreciate your expertise, Malik, and your ability to speak to people on a human level that everyone can understand. And I had a couple of messages. Earl said, I can't wait, particularly for this program, to go international and solely be funded by many big name sponsors. Keep doing what you do. And Shelly was saying all that fluff communication, we don't go deep. So she was commenting on the conversation we had. And I think that people need to think about, as well as, the protests and the this and the that's out there. You got to think about what's happening in here, because really what's happening in here is the cause of what's happening out there.
Come on, somebody. Come on. Inside, our own president need therapy. Our own president got a hurt little boy crawled up in the corner somewhere.
And what's so unfortunate is his diagnosis that most therapists are diagnosing is the type that is very difficult to fix.
Narcissistic personality disorder.
It's hard to fix that because their problem is they don't think anything's wrong with them. Everybody else is messed up.
The average therapist would do if they had him as a patient?
They'd be making a lot of money on hours.
Let me show y'all what they would do eventually.
Yeah.
True.
After it'd be like, look, man, I done paid off my Mercedes with you already, man. I don't need you no more. Get on out of my office.
Yeah, there is such a thing as that too, as people that are in therapy and they're not actually doing the work. They're spending all this money, but they're not doing the work. That happens too.
Yeah, they expect the therapist to fix them, and we in the in the psychology world, especially when you taking psych courses in college, you know, one of the main theoretic individuals that we deal with is Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers is the psychologist who coined the term person-centered or client-centered, meaning that the client has to be involved in their own healing.
Mm.
You can't fix nobody.
It's not going to work.
But that's just like that's just like if you break your leg or if you're going through substance abuse. You have to want to heal.
Yes, sir. You got to.
Big proponent of therapy because I hadn't told y'all. I get therapized. I just got therapized last week. Therapy helps, and it's ironic that you're bringing this up, Malik, because on this show and other shows we have discussed mental health in detail in the Black community, and that's one of the questions I've asked. Why do we shun it as a community, as a people? I can go to the average Black person right now and say, you know what, I just got diagnosed with diabetes or gout. Oh man, and you know, let me say, you know, I just got diagnosed with a bipolar disorder or manic depression. Oh, that nigga crazy. Stay with
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, if your mind doesn't work, your body's not going to work. So the same way you go to get your body checked out, you need to get your head checked out.
That's right. Come on, somebody.
It could be your therapist. It could be your pastor, your mama. You got to, well.
I don't think it can be your mama.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
And depending on who you are, maybe not your pastor either.
In fact, your mama might be the reason that you need to. Speaking of mamas, Sea Breeze, see that picture in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yes. I've been wondering about that.
Actually, today is the actual 3-year anniversary that we put her in the ground.
All right, bro.
Sea Breeze, guess what? I actually forgot. And last night I was looking at Facebook and I saw the picture and I saw the memory come up and I was like, wow. And can I honestly say something proudly, Sea Breeze?
What's that?
I didn't cry.
Wow.
For the first
that
time.
Means you're
healing. You're coming out of that grieving process.
Took me 3 years.
And speaking of mothers, I'm going to, you know, without going too deeply into what's going on, please pray for mine.
Oh, yes.
She's fighting for her life right now. And there are forces that are fighting her living. And I won't get into it, but there are people, now I'm not talking about dark forces unless those dark forces are using these people. There are people that have done criminal acts against my mother. So when y'all praying, don't just pray for her health, pray for her safety and protection, and pray for my family that we do the things that we need to do to give my mother the chance she deserves to live a full life, even in her situation. So I really appreciate you guys doing that for me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we definitely come up against any principalities of darkness and rulers of this earth that are sent, you know, by the enemy to attack. You know, we come up against that as believers. We have that right and we have that power to speak to that and tell it to move. So I believe that it is already done, because where two or more are gathered in His name, there too will He be. I believe that as well. So your mama gonna be just fine.
And the thing is, I believe that. I believe my mama, even if my mama passed this afternoon, I would be crushed, but I would be like, okay, that's God's will. She and God got together and made a decision. I'll be okay. But I don't want somebody trying to kill my mama because they're ready for her bed. That's another story. So thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Sea Breeze, you already know how I feel. You know.
And your mother, by the way.
I'm gonna get with you guys because I got to get ready to prepare for work.
All right.
Thank y'all so much for having me on. I'm available.
All right. Thank you so much. You're amazing. And we can't wait to have you on again. This show and others. All right. God bless.
God bless.
All right, Malik. Thanks, bro.
Take care, brother.
Bye. Your mom is so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that face. She's so pretty. I love having Malik. He's very goodly. His words are goodly. As our president, his words are goodly. He communicates very well, and he's a blessing to everybody that reads his book and talks to him, listens to his speeches, his talks. So y'all need to find him and check him out. But I'm very excited. Can I mention one other thing right quick before we start wrapping up? I know it's about that.
Because we're not going to do any more breaks because we're getting ready to go into the music thing, and we're going to,
So for next week, just as a heads up, we will be doing a pre-record. So we'll be doing Facebook Live and all our live streamings on Monday evening, 7:30 Eastern. And we're going to have a special guest, Larissa Julianis, and her husband, Craig, CJ Julianis, on our show, talking about a completely different subject matter. But we will be on the radio on Wednesday. But if you guys want to check us out, we'll be 7:30 live on Facebook next Monday to pre-record, so I can go do my job. I'm so excited about.
I'm so excited.
And also it's a good one. And this week's podcast is with Larissa, and it is about our movie. I'm in it with her, and Lee's in it, and our brother Evan's in it. It's called The Misadventures of what is it? The Misadventures of Mistress Maneater. It's very funny. And
name of your own movie that you.
Because I do a lot of them, and I'm blessed for that. But sometimes the names are hard to remember because there's so many. But I'm excited about that.
Can I make another announcement?
Of course you can.
The week after that, I'm really excited about this one. The week after that, Seabreeze will be back, and guess who's me and Seabreeze are going to interview, y'all? One of my idols, the legendary, damn near iconic here in Philadelphia, Lady B. I spoke with her the other night, and she said, sure, I will be there. And she told me to tell you, and I told you this off the air, so I'm going to tell you this on the air. She's a big fan of yours, Cinder.
That's such a blessing, and I can't wait to hear about this woman. She sounds extremely impressive.
Oh, my goodness. Listen. Here in Philadelphia, like every big major city back in those days had like a one hip-hop station, one station that was risque enough to play hip-hop. In New York, you had the Red Alert show, the Mr. Magic show, and all hip-hop avenues came through them. Well, here in Philadelphia, you had the Lady B show, Street Beat on Street Beat on a Sunday. And Lady B show actually was the first show to actually play hip-hop on the radio when she was on AM. She was on WHAT. And that was the only station you could hear. And I'm talking in the early 80s before hip-hop was even called hip-hop. When they were still calling it noise, I'm talking about back in the Kumo D and the Flash and the Furious 5 and, back in those days. The Rapper's Delight and, Sequence and, really, really first getting started. And, go ahead.
So that's going to be an amazing show.
Yes.
That's going to be one you want to listen to if you have any interest at all in legendary people, history that has changed our world. Literally, hip hop and the culture has changed our world, and she was part of making that happen.
Not only that, she is the first female to actually record a solo rap back in '79.
Wow.
If you want to do anything hip hop wise in the Philly, Delaware, Jersey, South Jersey area, you had to go through Big. And I'm talking the Jazzy Jeffs and the Fresh Princes and them. You had to go through big.
So y'all tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your family. Even if you can't listen to the show or watch the show on our live, you can always go to archive. You can always replay. You can always listen in and help us build our audience, because we believe that we're talking to important people. Sometimes you don't have sometimes you got to name folks, and sometimes you have people that are just in the background that you don't know about, and that are talking about interesting things that will help you to realize that our world is more than politics. Our world is more than all these things out there that seem so wrong. We got a lot right.
And it ain't just about the big names. And I'm going to give you a prime example. Damian Swaby.
Right.
I can't stop saying his name enough, Seabreeze, because he really did change my perspective on the way I see a certain aspect of a topic. You know, he really opened my eyes as to what it's like to be a black man in the
beyond this country.
Yeah.
Beyond this country, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it made me say, well, no, I'm not going to give up my thought about Black Lives Matter or anything about that. I'm not going to give her that position. But it just made me look at it from just another angle, like, wow, do you really?
Some of us got it way worse than we do.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's where I was at. I'm sure you've seen it. I once met a man with no shoes until I met a man with no feet.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I felt like the man with no shoes, and I was talking to the man with no feet.
Right.
Because basically, what he was saying is that you think you're bad here, you got no type of recourse.
Exactly.
Wow.
If you guys haven't heard that show, look that one up in the archives. It's a good one. The Damian Swaby show when he was on, and we're gonna keep on bringing interesting people for you to learn from and listen to and grow, because every time you hear something new, that's why I listen to podcasts, I grow. And sometimes you need to do more than just know what's happening in the world. You got to grow within in order for you to be able to handle what's happening in the world. And I think we about to say goodbye to some B-Force and whoever else we got.
Yeah, we got to sign off to B-Force. B-Force Radio. That is Disco Dave, Handmaster Flash, DJ Key Styles, Monkman, DJ Monkman. Flash, if you're listening, you're going to get a phone call from me real soon, because Thursdays is the 215 John. Thursdays is Philly day, so yeah, Flash, you're great to get a call, because I need you here so we could discuss some legendary stuff. Seabreeze.
I want to say thank you, and thank you to all my friends and family that are listening in, and we love you guys. And please comment more. I love to get comments, because it gives us a more to talk about when we get your point of views. So please join us again. Next week it'll be Monday night, and then from then on Wednesdays, from 10 to 12 noon on Eastern.
What you said.
Mm-hmm.
Also in an hour and 20 minutes at 1 p.m., Shelly Shell will be doing her. Today is what's today's day? The 21st. Today is the 21st one. 30 interviews in 30 days. Today is Ken Murph. Who's Ken Murph? Ken Murph had a video show. Every major market had a video show. So I forget what city Ken Murph is out of, but that's who her guest is today. Seabreeze.
Yes.
Can you do me a really big favor?
Sure.
Grown Folks Radio has a new DJ. He's kind of new. He's been with us about 3 weeks now, and he's a really, really big fan of yours. And you shout him out before, but could you give him an actual shout out drop, like for DJ 6 Foot? He is such a big fan of yours. Every time this man goes on the air, he shouts you out.
Oh, wow. DJ 6 Foot.
Give him an official, hey, this is Cinda Williams, and you are rocking with DJ 6 Foot. He would love it. He shouts you out every time this man goes on the air.
Okay, all right. Hey, this is Cinda Williams, and you are listening to DJ 6 Foot.
Oh my God, that man is going to just You just made his day. No, but he really does shout you out every time.
Thank you so much, honey.
And of course, you know what movie he loves the most.
I can only guess.
Clark.
Oh, better blue.
Clark. Everybody loves Clark.
Hey, I'm happy. I love Clark too. She's my friend because she's got me a lot of open doors. Thank you, Clark.
You know what? Real quick, while we got a little bit of time left, I've always wanted to ask an actor or actress this question. Mm-hmm. When you guys are getting ready to do it, like when you get ready to do a role, do you really become that person? Because I hear y'all talk about these characters that you're playing in third person. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there being non-therapeutic or whatever, saying, you know you're talking about yourself, right? But do you actually see, like, did you actually see Clark as a whole separate person?
Yes. She wasn't unlike me. The only way we were alike is we looked alike, and we both like music and like to sing, and that's where the similarities kind of ended. So no, that's not me. That's another person that I love. I love her very much. Flawed as she was.
So into your inner psyche, like when you had to prepare for Fantasia, because that was a deep role.
Every time you create a character, you have to use portions of yourself, and like for instance, if like the Fantasia was a cokehead, I have never done anything like that, but I have had addictions to, say, pizza. That's not good for me, right? To eat a whole pizza by myself. Okay. So you have to use parts of your life that in some way are similar. Are you addicted to something, whatever? You have to use parts of your life to create the believability in certain things that aren't you. So
like when you played the bounty hunter on
New York Undercover, right, yeah. And by the way, the new movie I'm getting ready to shoot next week, it's the most similar to that character that I've ever played. And except for she is the lead, it's the movie, she is the female lead in the movie. And I am so excited to play this role with Robert Parham is the director, writer, and starring in this movie. And y'all gotta look him up. He's got some great films. I've worked with him before. He's an amazing director. So wow. I'm very excited.
Well, can I tell you something? I don't think I ever told you this. I mean, yeah, the most iconic of your roles, of course, is Mo by the Blues, but that's not my favorite.
Which one's your favorite?
New York Undercover.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's favorite. It's actually my favorite. It's definitely my favorite.
I just didn't like that they killed you off. I'm like, damn, she should have been recurring.
You're going to love this new movie. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. I know.
So that's a sit home. Is it Netflix or is it coming out in the theaters or?
We haven't even shot it yet. That comes next. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to take at least 6 months to know that kind of information.
No, the reason why I'm asking because since we've been partnered, you've done about 4 movies so far?
I think this is going to be my 4th. This one is going to be my 4th, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. My question to you is, how are they distributing these films?
Most of them are distributed on Netflix, Prime, one of the streaming. Most of them now, because people aren't going to the theater, and it doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money when nobody's going to go see it.
Right. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah, most are streaming now. Yeah.
Okay.
Until things change,
So what are we looking at time? Are we at 10 minutes of yet?
If we got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Well, 3 minutes before. Dave, I'm going to call you later on because I want to talk to you about some stuff. I know you're listening. That's what type of station owner he is. Johnny Q, Power 100. I'm sorry, Johnny and Johnny. I haven't shouted y'all out all show, and I apologize. We apologize. I'm sorry. It's my fault. CC didn't know. It's my fault. So Seabreeze, can you send shout out to the two Johnnies real quick out there, Cleveland Power 100? I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Johnny and Johnny, thank you so much for having us on your platform. Really appreciate you, Johnny. Two Johnnies, love that. I love that. That's so cool. Thanks a lot.
One's a white guy, one's a black guy.
All right, that's right. They represent a big portion of this community we call America.
America. And we got 3 minutes, 2 minutes on that note. What we're going to do is me and Seabreeze are going to sign off, but you guys on the radio are still going to hear music. You guys on Facebook, you're not going to see us anymore because we're getting ready to get ready for Shelly Show. You got
right. You have a wonderful interview today.
Yes, you did. You did a great job because you were the lead on this one.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I enjoyed
you. I was I was Robin on this one. You was Batman. Well, Batgirl.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Yeah, I was Robin on this one.
But you are the DJ that I could never do.
Got you on that one. Okay, Grown Folks Radio, B-Force Radio. We're going to see y'all later. Grown Folks Radio, we're going to play some tunes, and Seabreeze and I will see you next week.
Monday live. Wednesday will be on the radio. All right.
Will be the replay. Exactly. That part, what she just said. So, Monday is the replay. And
Monday is the live.
Monday's the live. I'm sorry.
Wednesday
is the replay. Right. Exactly. That part right there. So we're still broadcasting live on Grown Folks, and I'm looking at B-Force. Are we still live? No, we're disconnected with B-Force. Okay. So, having said that, Grown Folks, I will see you in the hour. Seabreeze will see you next week.
Love you guys.
Boom. We're done with them. Facebook, same deal, like she said. Yeah.